Hello everyone, thank you for clicking on my channel. This video is about trauma bonding, in which I will be explaining the psychological impact of abuse of a victim when or if they're attempting to leave or have left their abuser. If you like this video, please don't forget to click the like and subscribe button below to hear more interesting related topics. Okay, here we go. Trauma bonding. It occurs when a person is in a relationship with an abuser. The abuser intentionally misuses feelings of fear, anger, excitement, and a boatload of attention to trap the victim in an unhealthy manner. The abuser can make you feel intense love and excitement at times, which can be intoxicating for the victim. It is all mind games, with intermittent periods when they will disrespect, devalue, ignore, mistreat you, and will eventually leave you questioning your own sanity. This emotional attachment develops out of a repeated cycle of abuse, of devaluation and positive reinforcement, the hot and cold or the Jekyll and Hyde effect that they utilize on their victims. During the devalue phase, you know that there was a change or a shift in the relationship, but you don't understand why. You may believe they just need to understand what they are doing wrong in order to bring back the loving part of the relationship. You may also believe that you did something wrong or you're doing something wrong. So in order to reconcile the fun-loving part of the relationship, you reach out to the abuser. And this is when the cycle repeats itself. The abuser will condition you to take full responsibility for all of the problems that they have created. And the more you reach out to the abuser for love, validation, and attention, the more the trauma bond gets stronger. This also means you most likely will stay in the unhealthy relationship when the abuse escalates, creating a nasty, vicious, destructive cycle. This cycle includes intense intimacy, attention, and mistreatment, which creates a psychological bond that has both an emotional and physical factors, which tends to keep growing over a period of time. This is one of the many reasons why more time spent with an abuser can make it harder for the victim to leave. You can become so accustomed to the neglect and the abuse that you will completely forget what normal feels like. And if you do manage to break free or end things completely, all the abuser has to do is to go back in their bags of psychological tricks and tactics to win you back. Trauma bonding is to blind you to what is actually happening. Research states trauma, fear, and abandonment actually increases feelings of attachment, which means victims can easily develop defense mechanisms or strategies to survive an emotional or physical dangerous situation. The more you have been hurt by a narcissist, a toxic person, or an abuser, the more intensely attached you will be to them. Trauma bonds are hard to break, but even harder to live with. When someone is emotionally captive to their abuser, they may develop feelings of trust or even affection for the abuser. It may sound twisted, but it happens more than you could imagine. Trauma bonding thrives in our nervous system, where the brain makes connections between love and abuse or neglect. Narcissists are masters at giving just enough and then ripping it all away. This then creates the feeling that you need or you want the abuser, which is often mistaken for love. However, it is false love, it's false hope, and it's false promises. When dealing with a narcissist, a toxic person, or an abuser, the abuser came into your life with the intent to attack, ruin your well-being to control, manipulate, and destroy your emotional and mental health. This is why it is so dangerous to be in a relationship with a narcissist or an abuser. They are trauma bonded to the world, to complete darkness, and to themselves. They think that people and things will make them feel alive and fill their emptiness. So separating from the abuser is the key to your emotional freedom. This means physical and emotional separation. Although the physical side of the separation is much easier, the emotional and psychological part is very difficult for victims because of the mind games during the relationship that created an emotional attachment. The more you know about how trauma bonding works, the easier it will be to see the warning signs both in yourself and the abuser. Cutting off contact is your saving grace, and I understand it can be tough to do, but it is very effective and a very effective tool to help break the power of the trauma bond. It can work in your favor because it ends the push and pull of emotions that helps the bond from keep growing. It may be very hard at first, but it will get easier with time, like anything else, because every time you go back to your abuser, you reset the clock on your healing. As far as you're concerned, your mind is probably wired to live in the abuse cycle by believing the next time things will get better or things will be different. The next person who comes into my life will be better for me or help break this cycle, and then I will be set free. Well, if the truth be told, once you lean in closely, I repeat, once you lean in closely, you will learn to love yourself, and that is the true pathway to freedom. You are not held captive. You may feel that way emotionally because you have been brainwashed to believe that lie. That very lie is what captured you, what captivated you, and what will keep you stuck. Learn about the characteristic traits of narcissistic abusers to help you understand what happened and how it happened, so that way you would never be a victim to future abusive relationships. You have a choice to break free from psychological, emotional, or physical abuse. What you feel and what you now know are two different things. You now know you're on your pathway to emotional healing. Gorgeous one. I truly believe you have the strength and power within yourself to cut them shackles off and break free to regain your emotional and psychological freedom. I hope that this video was helpful and provided the insight that you were looking for.